What do Legos, microwaves, video games, Twitter, Velcro, gravity all have in common? You see, they were all born because of boredom. Well, except for that last one. But huddle up, kids. I want to tell you a story about boredom. I want to talk to you today about the death of boredom. It was March 2014. I was like 9 years old at the time. I was living in Ghana. And I had just gotten back from school. Usually what we do after that is you come home, you do your homework. After you got your homework done, you'd go outside, you'd play with the kids in the neighborhood. Maybe you'd play some soccer or whatever else you could come up with. But I don't remember this particular day. There was just nobody outside. It was just dry, like nobody was outside. And you're in Africa, so no phones, no laptops, no video games. It was just you. If the kids weren't outside playing, then you kind of had to figure out what else was there to do. So this particular day, I picked up my brother's t-shirt. He had a t-shirt. It was a Sonic t-shirt. I picked it up. I went into my school bag and I grabbed a notebook and a piece of paper, and a pencil, sorry. I grabbed a notebook and a pencil. And I sat down and I just started drawing. I just started drawing this Sonic that it was on his t-shirt. I just started using it as a reference. And as I got done drawing, I took the paper that I just drew on and I put it back into my book bag. I took the shirt, I put it away, put the pencil back in the bag, and went to sleep. Woke up the next day, went to school with this drawing. I don't even remember the reactions of people. I don't remember how everybody reacted. It'd sound cooler if I did. Oh my God, I went there and they were all like, oh, you're such a good drawer. No, I don't remember. I really don't. But what I do remember was just the process of drawing it. That stuck with me. That changed my whole life. My whole life. That was the birth of me as an artist. That was the first instance I can point to and say, this is why I draw. And that was all born out of just me being bored one day. Just me having nothing to do, so I just started drawing. And I want to ask you a question. Has anyone ever asked you that question of like, what hobbies do you have? And then you respond with, sometimes I play video games. Or even worse, you respond with, oh, I don't really have any hobbies. How are you going to find your hobbies if all you ever do is just fill up your time with stimulation? Because even with your own daily because even with your day-to-day, there's a lot of experiences that you have that you can only process it if you are bored. Not necessarily bored, but if you are not having any input, not having any simulation. And what I mean by that is not being stuck to a screen. There's a lot of shit you go through on a day-to-day that if you just sat down and process it, if you just sat down and gave your brain the time to process it, you would be so much better off. But you don't give yourself that time. Kanye West was told as a kid, and even as a college student, that he was too focused on beats. And he focused on that. He ruminated that. He held on to that. And he used that to propel him. He used that as fuel to make more beats and eventually become the global music star that he is. Same for Jordan. Same for Kobe. Same for Serena Williams, Michael Phelps. All of these people were told that they weren't going to amount to something. Serena and her sister, they were told, nobody makes it out of Compton. Nobody makes it out of Compton by playing tennis. Look at them now. But the sad thing is, you probably have some experiences like that, and guess what you did? You would get told something like that. You would get told something like, oh, you're never gonna make it in XX. And you just go right back to scrolling on your phone. Oh, you're never gonna make it in basketball. And you just go right back to your phone. Oh, you're never gonna make it in music. You just go right back to your phone. Whatever people give you motivation. Not even motivation. People just give you fuel. They tell you shit that like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And if you would just process it, if you would just hold on to it, if you would just use it as fuel, you could be so much better. But we're never bored anymore. Kids from the age of like 2 years old, they're taught that boredom is a bad thing. They're always given a phone, an iPad, to just cure them from their boredom. But what you're doing, you're not curing yourself from boredom. You're just sedating yourself. Even Ronaldo, Usain Bolt, all of them, they've all been told like, yo, you're not gonna amount to shit. Ronaldo dropped out at 14 to chase his football dreams. Because if I had to ask you this question, have you been told that something that you hold dear? Has anyone ever shat on your dreams, basically? Has anyone ever shat on your dreams? The answer would probably be yes. And then what did you do with that? You probably got home and then just went right back to jerking off. What were you doing here? We can't be so scared of boredom that we never amount to anything. It's just boredom. Just learn to live with it and learn to use it. A lot of the greatest things have been invented because of boredom. Like I said in the beginning, Legos, Velcro, microwaves. I'm not gonna yap too much, but really, man, just recognize the value that it has. Once you do that, you could go on your way to becoming the most creative genius you could ever fucking possibly be.